Welcome back to Friday Night Fights. This is Season 11, Division 4D, Week 5 we're looking at. With me, as always, is Charles.
Heyo, how's it going, Wolf?
Hey, it's going good. Juvasek is on assignment this week. He is at a mountain pass near Thermopylae. So,
watching BloodBowl.
well, no, he's making sure the Persians don't invade the rest of Greece. So,
Oh, that's important.
yeah, it's very important. He's keeping democracy free for the Western world. No, he's probably sleeping. It's a weird time there for him. I think he gets up at like midnight to help us out. What we're gonna do is cover this week, and we'll be right back after this commercial break. And welcome back. We're going to take a look at our scorecards here. The week's results and our main event pick first, Charles. That was Bogue Bombers versus Rebbl Cheese Thieves. Was
Yes.
the game you picked a main event, and that was definitely the highest scoring game.
And it was an interesting one.
All right, tell us a little about it. Hey, look at the MVP. Paneer got the MVP. Finally. All that work
And
he's
he
been doing.
deserved it.
All that work he's been
Yeah.
doing on this team, he finally gets the MVP. Nice. Hopefully he gets a bonus check.
Finally, some justice on the MVP choice.
Yeah, absolutely. Usually it's a dead player who gets MVP.
It's random or something. I don't understand.
I don't understand it either. All right. What do you got? You take a look at this game. What did you see?
Yeah. The humans, they start off by having a loose cage, spreading some tackle zones around to play around the wizard. They are very patient there. They play around the wizard very well. It's time to advance, like 3 turns from halftime. Lightning bolt, they recover the ball. The humans keep a loose cage. They play around the wizard very well. They keep some tackle zones spread out so Abundance, the sacker, cannot get the ball. But when it gets time to advance, like 2 turns from halftime or maybe 3 turns from halftime, they Skaven lightning bolt their ball carrier. They dodge in, they grab the ball, they run away, but they fail the last pass to get the ball into safety. They fail that, so the ball is on the ground. The teams, they go at each other, they trade some sacks. Nobody can get away, nobody gets the last pass off, and nobody scores. So the Reds, they do get the stop, but it cost them. It cost them 6 KOs, 1 casualty, and 1 explosion to get that stop. It was very costly.
Yeah.
Then on the second half, the Reds have the ball, and what do? They just 1 turn touchdown
Of course.
and give the ball right back to the humans. Now the humans, they have no fear of the wizard anymore, and they also are trying to win the game, so they just 2 turn touchdown back. The Reds get the ball again, and they 1 turn touchdown again.
Okay.
And then the humans, they go for the 2 turn touchdown one more time. The Reds make more of an effort to stop them this time, but still the humans are able to score. And then the game is 2-2 with some 3 to 4 turns left. The Reds have the ball. They should be able to win there, but this time, of course, they don't go for the 1-turner. They do not make a line of scrimmage. They just spread out. The humans are able to pressure that back line, and then the Reds prepare for a deep cage, and the last action they're gonna do is take the ball there, but they fail a 1 in 36 dodge in the process.
Oh.
It is unlucky, but the ball is on the ground. The humans punch them out, they recover, they cage up, and when the Reds try to do a sack, which would be a dangerous moment for the humans because the ball could be served, they 1 in 36 again and the humans score. So overall, a very well played game from both sides, I would say, but it was decided on the 1 in 36's For the Reds, whoever failed something first would lose, and the more solid human game plan prevailed.
Well, that's to be expected, I think. I remember 2 seasons ago, Wood Elf coach, a friend of mine, was in this league. He still is in this league, but he played a Wood Elf team that would one turn every single turn, and eventually, like towards the end of the season, his luck kind of ran out, and then his kind of season fell apart after that. So, I mean, Panir's been doing it so long, but eventually that's gonna have to something's gonna happen in that one turn. You've got to have a backup plan.
And his team is taking a lot of damage because of those one turns.
Yeah.
And if they happen to lose that player, Panir,
then they're
gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, they're not set up for a full rebuilding season.
And the Bombers, on the other hand, they are looking very solid, currently top.
Yeah, 3-2 over Cheese Thieves. That's kind of impressive. So. Yeah,
it's another impressive victory by them.
All right, sounds like a fun game. Let's take a look at our next matchup. Ska Poppin' Skaven versus Sweet Teeth Forever. 1-1 draw.
The last game that was played.
Yeah.
I haven't had the chance to watch it.
Well, let's take a look at a few statistics here. Sweet Teeth had the ball possession advantage. 5 KOs sustained by the Skaven, 2 sustained by the Sweet Teeth, and looks like the Sweet Teeth Forever just got the better of the punching in this one. Nice day of skill points for the Skaven. Pretty average day for Sweet Teeth. Let me take a look at some dice rolls here. Wild Animal failing 3 times. Not a big deal. Dodging is really bad. 50% dodging for the Skaven. Wonder what was going on there.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's bad. Sweet Teeth Forever. Let me take a look here. Injury rolls 50%. So every time they did get injured, half the time they went out with an injury. That's unfortunate. Regeneration failing. 0%. So none of the regeneration worked either. Ooh, bummer. Other than that, I don't see anything that really stands out. But then again, I didn't get to watch the game.
The game was played late when not even Jovsek was able to watch it.
I know. That was a late one. Beer Brawl. Club Rebbl versus Commanders in Grief. The best looking outfits in the division continue their dominance in uniform appearance. 1-0 victory over the Brawl Club. Let's see. Now, Dwarves are usually a pretty tough matchup, but for some reason, Orcs, when they get them early like this, have a better time of it, I've noticed. The Brawl Club had 50% ball possession, so that's kind of interesting. And 61 blocks succeeded.
Wow.
Versus 42 blocks. Let's see. So 61 blocks, 3 KOs, 1 casualty versus 42 blocks, 1 KO, 3 casualties, and 1 death. So the Brawl Club threw a lot of punches, but must have had their pillow fists on because they didn't do very much casualties and not very much deaths. I would assume that was the decisive part of the game. Let's take a look at skill points here. Yeah, the Brawl Club got an MVP, and Commanders in Grief pick up a little over 10. And armor roll for the Brawl Club held up. So 69% of the time. Dodge. Why are you dodging? I guess it happens.
Yeah, I also hear it was a big game by Andrews Maxson, the Arc Blitzer.
Okay, he kind of came around after his last kind of slow game.
Yes, we were expecting so much of him.
Yeah, he's let us down in the last couple games.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. All right. Nothing other than the casualties really stands out in that game. Let's take a look. Styerland Hornets, bring out your undead. The team with the ugliest uniforms and the tricky, not undead, but Khemri team. The Khemri team gets a 2-1 win. That's got to be that's like actually kind of impressive against elves this early.
Yes, especially against this strong team, and with the way the matchup goes early, as you said.
Yeah,
it's a great win. I had to watch this one because I wasn't expecting at all. You were the only one to pick the Khemri.
Yeah,
actually,
I picked the Khemri because I know what I'm doing sometimes. I think what was interesting here is the Sterling Hornets do 33 or 27 blocks they threw. That's a lot of blocks to be throwing against Khemri for elves. I mean, usually you want to disengage and just score, and then force them to try to keep up with you. But he must have been going for the stragglers. Other than that, nice day of pickup for both teams on skill points. Dice rolls. Let's take a look here. Dodging. The dodges were okay, 88%. Injury rolls were not very good. They were just getting injured left and right. Woof.
Right. So that was the main thing I thought. The elves, they kick the ball deep. They try to pressure. And then they can reform a full cage and just start removing elves left and right. It was lucky that it was KOs, and the KOs did come back pretty nice amount of the time.
Yeah.
But the Camry were able to slowly but surely get their first score. And then second half, the elves, they get kind of baited by a skeleton who just wouldn't go down. They throw a lot of 2-die blocks and they keep just pushing him.
Okay.
And they end up not forming a proper screen in front of the ball carrier. So from the first turn of their offense, they are already with the ball based and some strength players on their face. Which, I mean, you can just push away the skeleton. You don't need to keep trying to put that guy down. He's annoying. Let him be annoying somewhere else, and then you form a protected ball.
Okay.
And then they are squeezed to the sideline to get away from the big guys. They get sacked, and that forces them to score. And then the Camry has the ball with, I believe, 4 turns to score. They fail the pickup, which gives the elves a chance to score. The elves go deep into the Camry line. They get the ball. Very exciting few turns. They are actually just a few steps away from scoring. But then the Camry sack the ball, recover. They escape a sack attempt on their own, and they have an unlikely score by putting their dirty player into scoring range and doing a nice play to clear it afterwards and handing off and scoring.
So bring out your own. Just had a great game, it sounds like.
Yes, very solid game plan, doing what they needed to do to win with Camry.
Okay. Yeah, and the Hornets, were they just based up too many times, you think?
I don't think so. I think they got actually unlucky with the removals, but they should be happy that it was just KOs. And
instead of permanent, yeah.
I think if there was more Mighty Blow going around, it could be a tragedy for them. But
yeah. So they got away
just
with
losing.
They got away with a close one there.
Yeah, it's just a loss. The season is pretty much on the cards still, and everyone's fine. So it's nice.
Yeah, that's good. Let's take a look at next up is Drekdar squad. They're still in a close battle with the admin squad. That could go either way, as we're getting reports right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's going to come down. It's a nail biter. The Blutarian Solarian 0-1 loss to the Mass Bolts. Now, I think did I pick Blutarian Solarian? I don't remember.
Yes, and I did as well.
Oh, you guys. What about Juvasek?
Juvasek picked a draw, so it was actually.
So we all 3 lost. Good. I feel much better. Let's see.
Doesn't it feel better when other people are also screwed?
Well, it always feels better to me when you're screwed, but not when I'm screwed too. That's terrible. That's a tragedy.
You must be happy this week then.
Yeah, I'm very happy. It's been a wonderful week. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. 43% ball possession, Blutarian. Looked like they had the ball more times. Let's see. And they put down more casualties, 2 deaths and 5 KOs. Like, just statistically looking at this, everything tells me they just walked all over this team. Even skill points, they're about even. Let's take a look at.
Did they have any problem picking up the ball? Maybe.
Yeah, let me take a look here. I didn't get to see this game. Bonehead, armor, pickup. Well, they picked up 4 times. They dropped it 2 times. 2 for 2 on dodging and 1 for 1 on catching. Let me see.
Oh, that's good.
No, that's not too bad. Mass bolts. Pick up armor. Armor held 63% of the time. Their injuries held 72% of the time. Passes and catches. Yeah, we didn't get to see. Oh, 2 leaps. Man, we did not get to see this game, but this is actually one I wish I would have watched now, just because it seems so odd. Nothing about this seems right.
Yeah. Doesn't seem likely that the elves would be able to stop the lizard.
Yeah, once you.
Offense.
The only thing I can think of is with those leaps. Maybe he leaped in and got the ball or something. We didn't see this.
It's a strength too.
And once you walk away, as skinks won't take you down usually if you can get past the big guys.
That could be.
Yeah, and a 0-1 win. I mean, it was obviously a close game, so and it could have just been one of those YOLO plays at the end. All right, let's go see what our next one is. Grumble Grot Gorgers versus Dazed and Confused. Now, did I pick this game? I think I picked the Ogres to win this one, right?
Everyone picked it wrong. I'm kicking myself right now because I said it was the best matchup for Ogres the whole season so far.
I know.
I still didn't pick them, so...
Yep, we all boneheaded on that one.
But I gotta say, it was a very interesting game. I like to watch it.
The Dazed and Confused... Did you watch this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was very... You like to see the stunties win, right?
I always... yeah. Everybody likes to see that, yeah. Unless you're on the other end of them playing against them, then you don't want to see it, but... Right.
Especially with the perfect defense that the Nurgle suffered on turn 1, that makes everything more difficult.
Yeah.
And then to add insult to injury, it's a Nobbler. Yeah, the Nobbler with Sneaky Git, he just takes down a Beast of Nurgle with no assists on turn 1.
Oh my god.
And
I gotta watch this replay.
Fails,
oh, good.
So that nice strength 6 Beast of Nurgle played for a whole 1 turn.
Yeah, that is awesome.
And got removed by one of the shittiest players.
The only thing that would have made that better is if he'd have been dead from a Nobblar.
Oh yeah,
that would have been great.
Would be poetic.
That I would have.
Strength 6 guy.
Yeah, we would have recorded that and sent that. We would have uploaded that nonsense.
Yeah. So the Ogres, because of the perfect defense, they start winning the line of scrimmage. The Nurgle team did have the ball safe. I like to see that because you are losing the line of scrimmage. There's no need to give the ball away. But then they get a bit anxious, try to get some control back, at least some part of the pitch they start winning. And they use the ball carrier to base and give assists. But the players don't go down, they are just pushes, which makes the Ogres sack the ball and also get a 6+ catch.
Oh.
Right. And then the luck starts turning around for the Ogres. So far everything was good in terms of dice for them, very good I would say, but they start to fail a lot of boneheads and they suffered a 1 in 36 dodge. They fail a 1 in 36 dodge, right? They get sacked, they end up recovering on another 6+ again, but they are just swarmed and they can score, so a 0-0 just a stop for the Ogres. They come back to the second half, they lose. They had already got a KO on one of the Ogres who didn't come back, and they lose very early 2 big guys, so they're down to just three of them and the Nobblers. So you would think they would be in trouble, right? They start losing the line of scrimmage, they get beat down a little bit, but when it all seemed lost, they just make 2 dodges with an Ogre. They advance that ball, kind of a potato surrounded by some Nobblers, but still get surrounded, get sacked. But then he does like a magic play. He blitzes the ball carrier, he recovers the ball, dodges away and scores.
Nice.
And then I also would like to note that I think you will love this play. They have a new take on respect fouling, turn 16.
Oh, I like
because,
that.
For their turn 16, the Ogre team picks up one of the Nobblers.
Oh no.
Throws teammate, and the poor Nobbler dies.
Oh, darn it. He didn't take anybody with him though, huh?
No, just smacked him on the ground and he dies.
Was he throwing the Nobbler at a enemy or something? Or was he just throwing it for throwing it? Okay.
He was trying, but
okay, well, you tried. That's respect. You respected. Nice.
Yeah, I mean,
I
you're
love
gonna
those.
feel scared of the guys who kill their own players, right?
Yeah, he's a madman. You don't know. You can't trust a madman. You don't know what he's gonna do next.
Exactly. Imagine what he's gonna do to your players.
I hope all the coaches in this division love the turn 16 foul. I hope they learn to love it, because it is the funniest thing to turn 16 foul and see the look of confusion on your opponent's face, and just imagining what they're going through, like the rage. Oh, it's so wonderful. It really makes this game a magical, fun time. All right, let's take a quick commercial break. We will come back and we will take a look. We're going to take a look at Juvicek's CompuBox stats, or are we going to take a look at pound for pound, Charles?
We're gonna do the CompuBox just because of the heavy hitters.
Yeah,
We're
right.
probably not gonna have stats for this time around.
All right, we'll come right back. And welcome back to Friday Night Fights. This is Juvicek's CompuBox, where he crunches the numbers, takes a look at some interesting stats, and gives us the heavy hitters of the week. He is out on assignment this week, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at his heavy hitter selection that he sent us. Charles, what can you tell me about this heavy hitters segment?
Andrews Maxson finally showing up after a quiet week. Now he got a kill. I believe it was Apple into dead as well.
Oh.
And he got 2 more KOs in the victory for the Commanders in Greece.
All right.
And, well, on the other side, we got a Skeleton 125. He's just a dirty player. You don't expect him to be in heavy hitters again for the season.
Yeah, it's unusual.
This was his time to shine, because he's got 2 KOs, he caused a casualty, and he's got the winning touchdown in one of the biggest games of the season, a very close one, and he was there to score for his team.
Yeah, this is like having a saxophone player in the band. You don't expect a lot, and then he comes out and burns the house down. Nice.
Yes.
And then Andrew smacks it. He's just 1 touchdown away from his next level. Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's going to be...
Yeah, it's probably going to be tackle, or
Um,
would you go anything else?
tackle or jump up, I guess, would be... I mean, as much as you use him, you can go either way.
If he rolls doubles, yes.
Yeah.
You could also go Juggernaut. I hate playing against Juggernaut players.
Do you? All right.
Yeah, because they eat the wrestle pieces,
Yeah.
and they don't let you fend, so it's annoying as hell.
I hate... I like grab. Just because grab cancels out sidestep, and grab also lets you put them where you want for fouling. That's always my favorite thing. But I foul too much, so... That's just me.
I understand that, but sidestep people normally die, so you're not gonna face a lot of sidestep teams if you look into the divisions.
Yeah.
There's not a lot.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
they die.
Again, take fashion advice from me. Don't take play skill advice from me. Listen to Charles. All right, let's take a quick commercial break. We'll come right back, and we'll take a look at our leaderboards with our pound for pound series. And welcome back to Friday Night Fights. This is our pound for pound series where we take a look at the leaderboard. Looks like Division 4D this week, the Bogue Bombers sitting on top of the division. How many points? 11
By
points.
a single TD.
1 touchdown difference. Oh, this is a nice tight race here for the top 3. Commanders in Grief putting some work in, and bring out your undead right there. You know, actually, there's a lot of people with 3 wins still. So the top 5 teams all have 3 wins. It's just touchdown differential. What is weird about this touchdown differential is the elf teams are on the bottom of this. That's kind of weird. Usually the elf teams are high in touchdown differential and fall apart at the end. So maybe they're going to make a strong comeback here.
Yeah, it's a very close division, and Juvicek's prediction that it would be close has been proving true so far.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not only halfway through, so let's see how it shapes out.
Yeah, and coming in, let's see, 6, 7, both at 8 points, and then Cheese Thieves with their 1-turn magic, 2 wins, still towards the bottom. Now, the one that really surprised me, I think, is Blue Varian Solarian. Lizardmen are so strong early on in the season. I would have put them a little bit higher, but maybe the coach is just getting used to the team. Maybe he's just had some bad luck.
Before Claw, you actually look at a Lizard team and you give them a great chance of beating any other kind of team, but he's not been doing it so far. It's been a struggling season.
They are a nightmare to deal with early on when nobody has Claw and nobody has Mighty Blow, and you've got to go up against, 6 strength 4 players and then a strength 5 player and then all the speed
Yeah.
with dodge on it. It's just a nightmare. But the only one in this division I would have thought that would have slowed him down would be the dwarf team. But it looks like I hate to keep ragging on him because he's not at the bottom. The bottom is our Skaven coach, and our admin team is still way down at the bottom. But there is a chance the admin team could move up in the standings if the bottom 2 teams fail to make any progress. The admin team could move ahead of them. If that happens, you have to create a new team next season. There's no coming back from that kind of embarrassment.
No, luckily they got some draws, so they already.
They should be good. All right.
Yeah, they should be good.
Oh darn
that
it!
front.
Oh yeah, you're
We
right.
also should tell people that it's the second place who goes into the Challenger Cup, guaranteed.
Right. So
And
first place gets a shot at the real division playoff, right?
right,
But
and then second place gets a guaranteed shot at the
the
Challengers Cup.
the minor league
you
cup,
follow-
yeah.
If you follow European football, it would be like Europa League versus the Champions League.
Charles, nobody watches this football you're talking about. What is this?
There's a lot of Euro gamers.
No,
so
I
they
don't
know what I'm talking
I don't
about.
think anybody watches this soccer stuff you're talking about. But don't keep plugging it. One day it will become a bigger sport.
Yes, one day there's gonna be BloodBowl for soccer,
Is there?
and you're gonna have to learn the rules.
We're gonna need to add a new skill into Blood Bowl called flopping. All right, let's take a quick
Yes,
commercial
and-
break. Oh, go ahead.
And the third place,
Yeah.
if they are between the 8 best third places, they also go to the Challengers Cup. I'm gonna say right now, it doesn't look like this division is gonna have the third place in, just because the division is so close together. You guys are taking points away from each other, so maybe the third place is not gonna be between those 8 best.
But I would still keep playing for third place because, I mean, if you're there and the other teams kind of
Right.
fall apart, you very well could get in. So don't stop
Yeah.
now. If you're in the top half of this division, keep going. All right. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll come back and we will take a look at our contender series. And welcome back to Friday Night Fights. We have our guest with us for the Contender Series. We have Acropolis with us. Hello, how you guys doing?
Doing well. Good to be here.
Good to have you. Your team is Dazed and Confused. We're going to take a look in the client at it right now. Now, there has been a question going around the division that everyone wants to know. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Do you have any idea what this question would be?
Probably about my uniform.
See, you knew you knew.
You're
it
getting
was-
predictable.
I know. He knew he did the wrong thing here by picking these dreadful outfits, but he did it anyway. What was the reasoning here?
You know, I just like the black and white, but if I had it to do over, I would probably do the red with the gold trim because I think that's the best looking Nurgle.
Boy, I think the best looking Nurgle outfit is the teal, blue, and white. Your logo is okay. Nobody usually picks that logo, so it's not the worst logo. Other than that, let's start taking a look here at your team and where you're going now. You came in at the same time as the Eurogamer article came out, but you're not one of those dirty Eurogame players, are you?
No, I'm not.
No. How long have you been playing Blood Bowl?
Oh, I've been playing it for forever. I started playing tabletop probably like 20 years ago and then didn't play for, maybe 10 years or so until it came out on PC, and I've been playing it ever since it first came out on.
Okay, good. Let's take a look. First thing up that stands out to me, your Beast of Nurgle with strength 6. That's a monster. That one, he's a killer already. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's great. He actually died in the OI, but I used my one save on.
Oh, you cheated. Oh. All right.
That's why they ended the OY.
Yeah, because of this kind of stuff, yeah. Your Nurgle Warriors, you got 3 with block, off to a good start. 4th one, is that a new pickup, or has it just been kind of slow to develop?
My Nurgle Warriors have all been really slow to develop. I only had one who was good. He had like 15 out of 16 star player points, and he died the last game of the OI after I'd already used the apothecary save on the beast in the game before, so I couldn't use it on him.
Yeah.
And my rotters eat up all my MVPs for some reason on this team. I mean, I've only played 13 total matches with this team, and I had one rotter who ate my first 3 MVPs, and then he ate another one a few games later, and then he.
Yeah, that's a lot of wasted SPP. So
yeah, so
on that topic, can you elaborate with us between going block or mighty blow first? Because some people think mighty blow on these slow developing players might give you a jump start on SPP.
Yeah, I've seen people do that, and it's generally people who are more killy oriented, and they generally maximize blocks a lot of the time, even when it sacrifices protecting the ball or stopping someone from scoring. And I'm just not really that kind of player. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like to kill other people's players, but I don't like to have turnovers because I don't have block. Block is the most important skill in the game, I feel.
Right, so you're going more for the control type of Nurgle, which is what Trout does on his team, if you saw him.
No, I haven't.
You didn't miss anything. He's terrible. Don't worry. He's the worst. He's a competitor of our show, so he's got 2 followers. It's
one of the coolest Nurgle teams around, but he got some edgy ups that makes them cooler.
Well, Dazed and Confused here has some agi ups too. Speaking of which, you got a Pestigore with agi up and block. That's off to a nice start.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And as far as going Mighty Blow, I mean, I generally won't go Mighty Blow on the Nurgle Warriors until after I have block guard on them, and then I'll generally go Stand Firm as well before Mighty Blow. I usually use Pestigores as killers and just use the Nurgle Warriors to control the map.
Look at you playing to win instead of just kill people. How dare you?
You know, I try.
Say that Beast of Nurgle doesn't roll doubles. Are you going Stand Firm on it?
Guard first.
Guard first. Interesting.
And your Pestigore with Mighty Blow, movement bust, but you keep him for a while, right? I mean, movement 5 is still pretty good for this team.
Yeah, I'll keep him. I'll take Claw next on him, and then the next Nurgle or the next Pestigore that I get, I'll build to replace.
Yeah, it's so hard to get Pestigores because you have to keep saving up for them. Your kick, wrestle, rotter. What's the combination thought there? Just you kick off, and then he's gonna be on the ground. You're probably gonna get fouled out anyway. Is the assumption here?
Basically, I like to have one kick rotter, and so he was a kick rotter, and then he continued to eat MVPs.
I hate that.
So he leveled again, and basically, since I don't have any tackle yet, I felt like having a wrestle would be a good idea.
Yeah. I like the 2 other rotters with Dirty Player first. That sends a message that you're not messing around. People don't want to pile on to you. I like it. And let's take a look. 3 rerolls. Any club enhancements? Not yet. And how are you doing this so far this season? Let's take a look. 2 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss. Any memorable games so far?
So the game against Blue Varian Solarian, the Lizardman team, was a really good match. I've played him before in the ramp up.
Okay.
And he's a pretty decent coach, and he matches up really well against me. I just had a really, really poor showing against the Ogres. That's my loss. I came into it thinking it was going to be a fairly easy win because they hadn't won any games, and then they just kicked my butt.
Well, that happens. I mean, there's no shame in that. I mean, once Ogres start breaking armor and getting some removals, it's all downhill from there. Especially with your team not being built to kill. So that's kind of going to hurt you in that matchup if they go to war with you. Other than that, Charles, any other questions for our guest that you want to talk about?
You are on the middle, kind of the middle of the table right now. How are you looking to this season of playoffs, or are you just developing your team right now?
Oh no, I definitely am trying to take first and go to the playoffs. Obviously that loss sent me back a little bit. If I'd won that game though, I'd be tied for first place.
Yeah.
I feel like I match up really, really well against the other 2 orc teams that I haven't played yet, and I think that I can beat the high elf team. And the only team that I honestly am worried about is the Elven Union team, because normally I feel like I'd be able to take their players out and win through attrition, but they don't seem to be taking any damage, and if that continues, you really can't beat Elven Union if you don't take out their players.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah, it's hard to stop them anyway. Even though you have you can shut down their passing game on most teams, elves just don't care. They'll still pass on a 3. They don't care.
Yeah, they don't care.
They do not care. I hate elves almost as much as I hate Nurgle. No, I'm just kidding.
Luckily for me, all 5 of the teams ahead of me,
Yeah.
With the exception of the Khemri that I beat already, I haven't played yet. So if I can get wins against all those teams, I'll be able to push them down the rankings and take.
And it's interesting to note that the second place goes to the Challenger Cup, so you might not need to be first. You might even get in on third place, even though it might be difficult, but second place for sure gets you action in the off season.
It would be pretty impressive too with a first season Nurgle to make it to the playoffs. I don't know how many people have done that.
That match against the Ogres, the main reason I was so disappointed to lose that game is because that's actually the only loss I've taken so far out of my 13.
Oh, Mr. Fancy Pants.
I have a lot of draws, but with Nurgle, in your first at least six or so games, a draw is almost like a win for another.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very slowly developing team, but once they get going, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, that's true. Cool. Team's looking good. Good luck in the rest of the season. That beast of Nurgle, if he stays healthy, he's going to be a problem for anybody who matches up against him. Just trying to get away from Strength 6 is just going to be a pain in the butt. I like what you've done here so far. Charles, any closing thoughts? Questions?
Do you have any words for the division?
I'm coming for you.
Uh-oh.
Nice.
Some fighting words. So you've got plenty of experience behind you. You're kind of new to the computer game, so it'll be interesting to see how that skill translates. I mean, the game's pretty much basically the same. Have you had a misclick yet or anything like that? That was my hardest thing coming into the computer game. I kept moving the mouse when I was like, and then all of a sudden the computer will like move away for you, and you're like, oh crap, and you're misclicking on stuff.
I haven't had one in this league. I play in another league. It's a Goblin. It's called Goblin, and I was actually in their championship match this season, and I played Nurgle in there as well, and I misclicked my beast and dodged him.
Oh,
and it cost me the match. I was able to force overtime, but pretty much lost it.
Well, that's one of the things you have to overcome on the computer.
That's
version.
true.
Cool. Well, thank you for coming in. Good luck the rest of the season, and I will let everybody in the division know that you're coming for them, and you wish you had better uniforms. All right.
Right on. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thanks for being on. See ya. And welcome back to Friday Night Fights. This is our main event series, or actually, this is where we take a look at the main event and the undercard. Charles will pick his main event, and he'll pick the game that he thinks is going to be the most interesting of the week. And this is really kind of hit or miss with Charles these days. Sometimes he gets it right, sometimes he gets it wrong. Can't pick them all, though, can you, Charles? I'm just kidding.
I also can't win all the games.
You do a fine job. All right, what do you got for the main event this week?
We got Pars versus Clown Thulu, Sweet Tea Forever versus Sterling Hornets.
Now, another elf team in your main event, and
Sure.
Sweet Teeth Forever, Necro. All right.
Necro is making their debut on main events, and it's only the second time the Hornets are on this place, so...
Okay. And what are some of the keys to this game?
Yeah, I feel like the Necro doesn't have a lot of ways of removing those elves, so getting good fouls and fouling the right pieces at the right time is going to be big for their chances of winning. That's how I look at it.
Right.
For the Hornets, I feel like patience and consistency are going to be the ways to look at it, because this is where they got into trouble versus Camry, in my opinion. They just got a little bit sloppy, and all the dominoes started falling into place that they happened to lose, but with a little bit more consistency, they could have got a better result out of that game.
Yeah.
And then the key on the middle, it seems like a no-brainer, like who has the better game plan. But the reason for that is that I don't feel like these teams are set up to stop what the other team is gonna do. So you will be able likely to do what you want. So who has the better plan is gonna come out on top, in my opinion.
All right. And who are we gonna pick for this game? Boy, this is a tough one. Let's take a look at the teams themselves before we get into picking. All of a sudden, I've gotten to be a little more serious about my picks, even though there's no money on the line. See, this went from a fun family show to a high-stakes gambling. Let's take a look here and see. Sweet Teeth Forever coming in with 2 injuries. It looks like their White and a Zombie will be out. Their TV will be 1260 versus 1530 for the Hornets that have a completely healthy team. Oh my goodness. Man, oh man, I hate to pick any elf team ever.
I can go first if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Hornets, they took their first loss of the season, but I did feel like the removals were way above what you should expect. So I'm picking them for this one, sticking with my playoff prediction on preseason.
I'm gonna go with the elves also, just because having the white out and zombies, it's gonna be hard to keep up fouling. You're just not gonna have enough players, and you don't have a lot of power punchers on this team either to get elf removals. While the elves can still do just elf nonsense on anything but a 1. So
yeah. One thing I would note is that if you can roll some 3+, the Wolves are great players for carrying the ball. So it's not like they are outgunned. I just feel like the Elves win more the time.
I just think everybody on the elf team is a good player, whereas right now, this early in Necro, you've only got 2 or 3 good players, maybe 4 good players on the team.
Good point.
All right. What about Juvie? Did he pick anything?
I wasn't able to get any picks from him this week, so
this is our chance to go ahead. We're gonna go ahead of him.
Yes,
Charles. Nice.
We can go ahead on aggregate.
Yeah.
Maybe not on ratio, but that doesn't count.
That doesn't count. Yeah. As long as we win and he doesn't, that's cool. All right.
Yes.
So let's take a look here at the Mass Bolts and Ska Poppin' Skavens. Ska Poppin' Skavens at 1170, Mass Bolts at 1410, and let's take a look at each individual team here. Ska Poppin' Skavens come in healthy for them, but that's only 8 players on their team. So
yeah,
full 12 players, everybody healthy on the Mass Bolts. So I think on this one, I'm gonna go with the Mass Bolts. I think, I don't know. Yeah, I gotta go with the Mass Bolts. They've got the better armor overall. They've got their more than enough players on their team. They're not gonna have to rely on loners. That's my reason.
I'll also keep with the elf love.
The Rat Ogre is a bit of a liability, so I still think that's a bad choice.
Increases the team value by a lot, not necessarily giving you that much value.
Yep.
Especially against elves.
And with him being down so many players, he's not going to get a lot of foul removals. And he has got one Mighty Blow player that he's going to have to rely on to do all the blitzing.
I will add that this high elf team got into trouble the last time they faced Skaven.
Yeah.
That was the 6-1 defeat.
Well, but that was against the Paneer, and I think everybody in the division is now well aware. And we had the coach on the show. We know what kind of happened there. All right.
And that was a massive game by abundance.
Yeah.
And there's no abundance on the Scap-Up Skaven, so I gotta pick the team.
I'm picking.
I gotta pick against the team that hasn't won a game yet.
Gotcha. Dazed and Confused. They should beat the admin team. Bring out your undead Grumble Grok Gorgers. Let's take a look at this one. 1430 Kemri to 1580 Gorgers. Let's see if anybody's injured out or waiting. Completely healthy Kemri team and a Noblar out. So fairly well. Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's your super Noblar. With what was the skill he had? I was trying to remember that.
Sneaky Git.
Sneaky Git. I've never taken that. I've never seen it. Everybody tells me not to take it, so I just never do.
It's an IG access player that's very low value.
All right, let me read it real quick.
individually.
This player has the quickness and finesse to stick the boot to a downed opponent without drawing the referee's attention unless he hears the armor crack. During a foul action, a player with this skill is not ejected for rolling doubles on the armor roll unless the armor roll was successful. Well, what the hell good is that? Because you want it to be successful.
Yes, you want it to be successful, but that's what gave him courage, for instance, to foul that Beast of Nurigold last game, so it did work.
Get the hell out of here with that skill. That's a non-skill. Who takes that? That doesn't make any sense. You're like, I'm taking a skill because I plan to not succeed. That's ridiculous. No, get out of here. You should he have just take a dirty player just for the extra one?
He can't because it's a doubles for him.
Oh, that's right. He's
So it's the next best fouling thing he can get.
Next best fouling thing is cut him and just take a bribe. All right, who are you gonna pick in this one, Charles? Who do you like?
Oh,
there's no
this
tackle.
ogre team. Yeah, I felt like I betrayed this ogre team not picking them last time around.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna have to betray them again just because.
Statistically.
Just because their offense was so inconsistent, they had to roll so many dice to get their offense. The defense looked great, they caused a lot of trouble, but the offense was so moving a bonehead player around the pitch, having to dodge with that edge tool and picking up 6 pluses and stuff like that. I don't think they can score that reliably, and I think they will get into trouble, but as they did last game, they might just have a plan and get it at the last second. If they can squeeze one out, I think they can win this one.
Yeah, I'm pulling for the ogres, but I can't pick an ogre team to actually win a game. But they have the Mighty Blow advantage over the Tomb Guard. I mean, if they put the Tomb Guardians on their butts the whole game, then they just got to worry about the other utility players like the Blitzdraw.
And by the way, I think we might have been misled by the stats, because now that I think of it, maybe when the ogre team kills their own player, that counts as a kill for them.
Yeah, hey, it still counts.
So then we talked about how violent they are. They are actually maybe killing their own.
I was gonna say maybe they're eating their own Noblars in the back and counting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. For that one, I'm gonna pick the Camry team, and you said you are also.
Yes.
All right. But best of luck, Grumble Grot Gorgers.
Yes.
You pull that win off.
Be...
If you pull that win off, I will no longer doubt you, and I will start picking you like a legitimate contender.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the next one. Commanders in Grief, Blubvarian, Solarian. Now, you know how I'm going to pick this one based on uniform, and I'm not even going to have to look at the matchup here. I'm going to go with Commanders in Grief for that one. But looking at their team, looks like it's completely healthy. Blubvarian is also completely healthy, and the Commanders in Grief are down 1430 to 1540, so that's maybe a bribe or a extra Apo or something. Maybe two babes? I don't know. That would be an interesting choice. Who do you like in this one? I'm obviously going with Commanders. Who do you like in this one, Charles?
I again don't think it's a bad matchup for Lizards, but this Arc team from Onania, they have looked too solid for me to pick against them. I'm gonna ride the wave until they stop winning.
Yeah, it's a decent looking team from the Lizardmen. I mean, they've got block on all the right pieces. They've got guard. They're starting to get Mighty Blow. But I just don't... They're not putting it together right now, and I don't think that is going to stop. But good luck to both of you. Let's take a look at our next matchup here. Rebbl Cheese Thieves, Draktar Squad. Cheese Thieves coming at 1190. Draktar Squad coming in a little bloated at 1540. And by bloated, I mean just bloated for this division. Seems like
yeah, for young teams, it's bloated.
Yeah, and Rebbl Cheese Thieves coming... What would be the opposite of bloated? Starving? They come in with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players. But
very slim.
6 players, but I'm guessing the Paneer is the only player who has any rights to the APO. It would be my guess.
I would save Abundance as well, but that's just me.
I would save all the gutter runners, but I don't know how to play Skaven. Draktar squad comes in healthy, with 1 tackle piece on a blitzer, so not too shabby. Although this is a confusing thing for me because Draktar squad plays with a goblin. I don't like any team with a goblin that doesn't also have a troll for like the 1 turn. I could understand if you're getting a little up there and you want to have a 1-turn threat, but just having a goblin on the team makes me a little leery of picking you. So for my upset pick, I'm going to go with the Rebbl Cheese Thieves on this one.
I will also go with the Rebbl Cheese Thieves. I don't know, we're picking the same teams, but
Wait,
these orcs don't have a killer to punish this Reds play style.
yeah.
So I think the Reds are gonna do what they do. They're just gonna pick up the ball and score, and the Orcs are gonna have to find a way to keep up with the scoring, which I
Well,
don't think is likely.
Oh, I think Draktar squad can go look at some of the anti-1-turn formations and look at that, because man, you know he's gonna 1-turn on you. You just gotta set up the right way, I guess, and hopefully you stop it.
Yeah, best you can do is force him to throw some dice, but it's still gonna be very consistent with that.
But what I'm thinking here is that if you're all the way at the back, he's gonna want to turn on you anyway. So you might as well be up front and force him to throw into traffic or uphill for a red, here and there. You get a strength 5 piece here. But if you're just playing back,
Maybe.
preventing the 1-turn, I think that's a horrible idea. Especially since he doesn't have any killers on his team. He's got no claw, blitz, nothing like that. So that's just my opinion. Don't listen to me. Charles is the strategist in this.
Don't listen to me because I have been losing. So
Yeah, you make a valid point there, Charles.
just play your games and prove us wrong.
Yeah, prove us wrong. Let's see. Sweet Teeth Forever, Sterling Hordes, we already covered. And
Yeah.
Bogue Bombers, Beer Brawl Club. This would be a good game. Let me take a look
Yes, I almost picked this
1490.
one for the main event.
here. Yeah, only 80 points of difference in TV for the Brawl Club. Let's see who's healthy and who's not healthy. The Bombers coming in, looks like completely healthy. The team is intact, getting good development.
Did they buy a new ogre?
Let's see. Yes, Max, the new ogre, 0 skill points.
Okay.
And the Brawl Club, still loading. Let's try to refresh this. Reloaded just fine. Coming in completely healthy. Now, one of the things I like about the ogre or the dwarf team here is the troll slayers against that ogre with no skills. Boy, that's gonna be
Yeah.
you're gonna have a feast on that. As long as you get 1 guard in there, it's gonna be. And he's got plenty of guard on this team already. Boy, this is gonna be an interesting matchup. Speed obviously favors the humans, and they've shown that they can. They can throw 3 touchdowns if they want to. But I'm gonna go with the dwarves on this one, just because of all the tackle, all the guard. I think if they just march the ball down slowly on their drive, or if they play the 2-1 grind and let the humans score first, and then just keep the ball the rest of the game, that might be the way to go.
And this dwarf team is the best defense on the division right now.
I love a good defense. I just like the Troll Slayer here with staying firm, so I think these 2 Troll Slayers can both do some work. And once you get rid of that ogre, there's nothing to worry about. Maybe a blitzer here or there. Yeah, he's got 1 blitzer with Mighty Blow. He's got a lot of tackle on his team, which the dwarves are not going to care about because they're just going to march slowly down the field. Who do you like in this one, Charles?
Yeah, we finally have a different pick between the 2 of us. I'm gonna go with the humans.
Okay.
I really liked their offensive play from 2 weeks ago, the way they set up to one side, but they are able to misdirect, bait one side, go to the other. I think that kind of tricky offense with the better movement is gonna be just the right way to get through the dwarf defense.
Yeah.
And the dwarves are not scoring a lot of touchdowns, so
Yeah.
Bogue Bombers for me.
Yeah, if the dwarves can keep this game to 1 touchdown total, they should take this one and win. But if the humans start throwing lots of balls up in the air and getting lots of touchdowns, it's going to be a long day for the Brawl
They can
Club.
hand off as well. Just doing some handoff plays, that kind of offense can work as well. I think
Can,
they
but
can do it.
I think the dwarves can spread out just enough to keep tackle where they need to, and good luck getting through their lines. But we'll see how it goes. I do love all the guard he's got so far, and the fact that he's got some Mighty Blow hitters. So it'll be an interesting one. We'll have to catch that one. I think that is everybody for the division. That's the main event and our undercard. So what we'll do is we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll come back and we'll wrap up the show. And welcome back to the final segment of Friday Night Fights, where we talk about the week, the wrap-up. We talk about our divisions, our games, give you guys an idea of what's going on around the league. Rebbl, anything going on interesting around the league? I haven't heard anything. There's no news.
Yeah, there's no news.
Yeah.
We're just going through the season right now.
Yep, just mid-season now, starting. Speaking of mid-season, this is usually where teams can start to make their move for the division. You want to be at least in the top half of your division. How's it going for you, Charles?
It's not going great. As you said, it's the time to try to make your move. I did try to make my move and it didn't work. I fell on my face, I guess.
Oh, but all your players are healthy and ready to go, right? You got that rebuilding?
No, just had 2 deaths and 2 permanent injuries come up, so...
I hate to hear that, Charles. It makes me so sad.
Yeah.
That's not laughter, that's crying. Oh, I'm so sad.
It was a whole 26 blocks where he destroyed my team, so...
Let's see if we can take a quick look at that. What division are you in?
2B?
To be or not to be? Let's take a look here.
Yeah, right now it's
next season you are
be.
not to be, that's for sure. Let's see. Your blitzer took a movement. Is that what they took?
Yeah, it's a movement post.
Right.
I think it's good enough for him to stay just because he has all the skills.
Sure.
And this type of player dies a lot anyway, so...
Yeah, your team is looking like it's been shot with a machine gun again, just like holes everywhere in this roster. But, I mean, it's not as bad as you were. I think you're still better off than when you started the season, so...
I think I'm not gonna try to buy a bench again.
Yeah.
Just because by the time I buy a player, 2 of them die or get busts.
Yeah, just sit on 150k and wait for a witch to die or something.
I'm gonna buy stadium improvements, which I never get the chance.
Yep.
This is the 4th season and I never had money to get that. So
let's take a look here. Now my game went a little different. I went into
Did you win?
I did. I won 2-0. And
nice.
My whole goal was just to get some SPP on my rookie Bull Centaur. And then he wound up getting in one game 11 skill points, so I can't complain.
Wow.
He got the
Perfect
MVP
game,
and 2 touchdowns. I was like, whoa, slow down, old boy. So hopefully this Bull Centaur turns it around and he rolls a strength up and makes everybody in the division happy again. Everybody wants to see that strength 5 bull again. So.
And is this your playoff season? That win puts you...
No, next season
believe
is my
it.
playoff season. This is just my build up, my teams. No, stop it, Charles.
There's only now. There's no tomorrow.
No, there's always tomorrow for my teams. They have learned that the hard way. All right. Anything else you want to go over, Charles?
Not really. I think this week is a lot of lopsided matches, actually.
Yeah, but there's 2 or 3 good matches that we're definitely going to want to catch. If you guys
Yes.
know when you're playing, put your times up on Rebbl or shoot us a note when you're going to play. Maybe we can stream it.
And maybe it's time to take down some of the teams on the top and change things up.
Yeah, that's what bothers me is in my division, everybody plays, and once they have the win secured, they don't want to hurt the other team. And I always think, hurt everybody, crush everybody.
Yeah.
And, I mean, don't go, well, I want them to play the next opponent so I can get an easy victory. Quit being a pansy. Just kill everybody.
And then, doing that, you end up with the possible Nurgle apocalypse that's coming to this division.
Oh, this whole league, all of Rebbl, all of REL. Like, there were 4 teams that were Nurgle in the top of the divisions, and I thought, well, here's what we get. When we kill all the Chorfs, then we get all the Nurgle. It's like killing the cats in the neighborhood, now you got a rat infestation. Thanks a lot.
I think next season might be a problem, actually, with the amount of Nurgle teams that are not losing anybody and getting...
You're absolutely right.
Terrible.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. It's going to be the Nurgle apocalypse next season.
And by the way, how do you hate my team? Like, if you face me, you get a bunch of SPP, nobody dies.
Oh, I
just
hate...
get punched in the face.
I just hate their uniforms and the fact that I've never beat you, so you can kiss my butt. I'll always hate your team. And what point do you re-roll your team? Because it's like you don't have any real like staying power in REL 2, do you?
Yeah, I think I hate high TV Blood Bowl just because.
It's rough up there, man.
Yeah, my team, they just get off the pitch. There's not much strategy when everyone's dying in one hit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's gonna feel pretty bad to restart. So I'm actually thinking about a lot. Let's play out the season and see what happens.
All right. So keep that in mind, people. Don't give up. Do like Charles does. Go 4 seasons with a team that's got no chance at winning. And no, I'm just kidding. I'm
I
just
won
kidding.
some matches.
Oh, that's true. You have. All right. Take it easy, everybody. See you next week. See you, Charles.
See ya.